So I have a rolling tool bag here, and it's got a wobbly wheel. Like, it's been harder to pull lately. Now, if we look at the back, I changed one of these wheels several months ago because for the same reason. But if you look at this wheel, the core of it is getting chewed out. So I'm gonna do what I did on this side, and I'm gonna drill out these rivets. There's one here, and I believe there's two underneath. One or two underneath. Yeah, there's two, and we're gonna change that up. So you might think, well, you'd rather spend $100 or so for a new tool bag, but I don't know. It's not that hard to change these, really. So what I'm going to do is drill out the rivet, and there's two in the bottom. I'll also drill out, and so it's not easy getting your drill in there, but I found the other side of that rivet, and it's easier to drill from this side because it's the thinner metal part of the rivet. So this is how I'm going to get it out. So you got to squeeze in your drill in there, put it right over the head. Make sure you're right over the round part of the rivet. So inside there, you can find a bit of the rivet, and if I drilled far enough in, I should be able to pop the back off that rivet. That is the question. There it is. I got the piece, that's one side off. Now, I should be able to go on this side and get that there. So that's one side loose. So then you just got to do the bottom ones the same way. Should be a little easier because you're drilling right through. You got these two. It's drilling straight down as opposed to inside the pocket that I had to do inside there. Well, let's get some light in there. Those two. So you want to drill those out, and those are the two that hold that wheel. And I pop the rivet parts off, and now this thing just kind of pulls out, and you can see the rivets laying there. So this is what you're dealing with here. We can easily bolt these back on. Two bolts there, one there, through. I did that with the other side. So I did have a bit of an issue getting this bolt out. I had to basically bend away the rim of it, and then I pried the washer that was on over it. So now I can get this thing out. We're going to see what bolt I have to fit this thing. So here's the wheel out. You can see the one side still has this kind of bushing bearing combination, and this is the remains of the one that was in this side. What I'm going to do is knock out that other one as well, and I have these which fit perfectly. They're 7/8 of an inch in total diameter. I looked all over for ones like these. Where I ended up finding them was at a skateboard shop. And this is the cheapest one they had. I got a set of 8 for like $14.99. I got tired of looking, so I bought them. But if you go to a skateboard shop, ask them if they got any old used wheels behind the desk, and they might pop one out for you, or they may have a couple in the junk drawer. Yeah, here's one, here's two, whatever. Anyway, this is what I end up doing. I have a feeling I might have to end up putting a second one or changing the other one again someday. So, you know what? I don't mind having 6 more around. So the other one came out real easy. This is the other one. It's kind of ugly. Probably fail at some point too. So I have popped new bearings in on both sides. Fits nice in there. So I'm going to put some washers on either side of this wheel to remove as much play as I can without making it too snug in there. Less play, less wear, right, on the shaft and the bearings. So it just has to be able to fit my bolt, which is a 5/16. That's what fits in these bearings that are equivalent to skateboard bearings. So I got my bolt on there, as you can see. My lock nut. I've still got some play on my wheel, a little bit, but listen to that baby roll. That's gonna be awesome. Now I'm going to give you some advice. If you, I'm going to install the nut, or I have installed it on the inside. I actually installed it on the other side first, and then realized, you try to get it in there, it didn't quite fit. Because there's a lot more room on this side. A lot more room. So, the nut being sticking out further, you need more room to let that fit a little bit better. So, that's going to pop right in there a lot easier now. So for the 3 spots where I'm reattaching this thing, I'm using a screw and lock nuts to replace the rivets that were there. Now you have to see how much space you need on yours. If you have the same bag or if you have this one, they're probably a similar, probably get away with about an 1.25 inch, any thickness. These are 10-24s. I had to cut them because I could only get 1.5 inches, so I had to cut a bit off, and I'm not probably gonna have great luck threading my lock nuts until I mess around with it a little bit. Otherwise, you're gonna have too much sticking out inside, like where your tools go, right? Like in there, it's gonna stick out here. So if you got too much there, it's going to interfere with your tools and take away from some of your space, and it might just be a nuisance in there. So just cut them back a little bit if you need to, or get something the right length. So I'm going to put a washer and then the lock nut, just so for the bolt on this side, so it doesn't slide. You know, it won't likely slide back as easy, so you may want to even choose a bigger washer than this, but that's what I'm going with, and I'm gonna put all 3 of those in. The other 2 are at the bottom. So there I have the 2 nuts from the bottom put in and bolts. Now the bottom didn't require as long, so I cut the bolts even shorter for down there. They could probably get away with barely 1 inch long. The one on the side out here had to be about maybe 1.25 inches. So something you may want to check out before you proceed to tighten it in. So now this thing, I'm excited. This thing's going to be rolling sweet now. And that side will probably last longer than the other side. Anyway, there you go.